Hey YouTube, what's up? Algis here from Team Wattmole. I'm going to do Team Wattmole's second deck profile vid, which is Gravekeepers. I've been playing GKs for almost a year now, so I kind of know what the cards do. So here I'll share my variant, which is a slightly anti-meta variant. Spy, as you all know, the greatest card in Gravekeepers. Walls with 2,000 to 2,500 defense. And pretty good attack too. I mean, it's so good that up until Tour Guide came out, this was like the de facto like searcher kind of plus gainer, if you can call it that. Second, we have 3 Commandant. Searches out Necro Valley and is a nice 2100 beater when Necro Valley's out. Then we have Recruiter, which is our amazing searcher. Definitely the best themed searcher in the game. It's like Sangan basically for GKs, except 2000 defense and 1700 attack. Then we have, let's see, 2 Descendant, not 3. 3 just becomes really cloggy, and nowadays GKs are more defensive, and Descendant is the aggro part of GK. So you really don't want to draw into him. I mean, you want to have him as an option, obviously, but that's what Recruiter searches and Spy special summons are for. So 2 is fine. I mean, you can run 3, but it's a personal texture. 2 Fossil Dyna. This card is a godly top deck. Sets up for a lockdown. I mean, since decks special summon so much, so unless they have like a Ryo or like a Tengu, and like they basically can't do anything, most decks nowadays. And then Assailant, which is our recovery play, basically gets over everything except for like Stardust, Trishula, the really big beaters, but otherwise you just set Recruiter, boom, next turn you have this guy, attacks over anything you need it to attack over. Next we have spells. 3 staples of the format. In my opinion, Heavy Storm is just way too good not to run, even if you're running like 12 or 13 traps. Just like turn 1 just blows up your opponent's whole back row and leaves you free to do whatever you want. Dark Hole, self-explanatory. Book of Moon, my favorite card in the game. It's so versatile. Like it disrupts plays, it saves your monsters, resets effects, plus like you can reuse your spies and GKs. Just amazing. I don't know what else to say. Stell gives you great pluses with GKs, lets you toolbox out of the grave, reuse those spies, but at 3 it gets really cloggy, and drawing into Stells like turn 1 and 2 without any monsters in the grave is kind of terrible. And then if you don't draw monsters soon, then those Stells just become like ugly in your hand, and you're just like, ah. Then I have 2 Royal Tribute, nice purple and blue hobby league, Duelist League. This card is crazy. It's like double, triple, quadruple Trap Shoot, except it sends them to the grave, which is an amazing card. Then we have Triple Duality. It gives Gravekeepers more toolbox ability, lets you choose and set up plays, also gives them a little bit of speed and kind of consistency. And then last, and definitely not least, we have the godly super rare Necro Valley. Good card. Good card. Then for traps we have the beautiful Solemn Brigade. Personally, Solemn Judgment is not that good right now. It's just that there's a lot of things that get around Solemn Judgment, and it can be a pretty dead top deck. I mean, as can Solemn Warning and other cards, but it's just sometimes not worth the one space that it occupies. Then we have two staple traps, Torrential and Mirror Force, just pretty staple, especially in an anti-meta deck like GK's. Starlight Road, this card is a necessary evil for almost all anti-meta decks, just because of Heavy Storm. So now there's basically Heavy Storm, Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force, Dark Hole, Black Rose Dragon that trigger Starlight Road. So that's just too much destruction to go, unprotected against. So 2 Starlight Road, 3 is definitely overkill, 1's not enough. Then we have Tech. Rivalry of Warlords. There's just a ton of decks that utilize different monster types, so this shuts them down, slows them down, brings them down to a point where GKs can confidently just beat down and gain advantage like that. Also, like say like you're playing agents, and like normally this doesn't really hurt them, right? But say it's TG agents, boom, stops that. They can't go into Gachi, they can't synchro summon. So I think like overall it's just a really good card, and like you'll definitely want to side it out against decks that have type unity, but it's still not entirely dead against those decks either, so it's definitely worth the main deck space in my opinion. Then we have Bottomless and Dimensional Prison, so standard removal, so which is always good in stun. So that's basically the deck. The extra deck is really simple. 2 Stardusts for the Starlight Road, Utopia, just because sometimes you do need to get over something or stall for a turn or two, so Utopia fulfills that role pretty nicely. I'm waiting for Gem Knight Pearl to come out in the TCG, so that'll also be a nice 4-star. I mean, Steelstorm Roach ideally, but he apparently is not that good, and definitely not worth the $40 that he's going for right now. And then finally we have an Emergency Leviathan Dragon, which believe it or not, like sometimes you have to use 2 recruiters to get over something, to like go for game or something like that, but otherwise it kind of rarely sees play. And then for the side deck we see 2 MSTs, just standard against back row heavy decks, mirror matches, etc. 2 Chain Disappearance, really good against Tour Guide and other wind up stuff. Royal Decree, just because people are trolling regionals and locals with Chain Burn, so that kind of shuts them down. Goes and Match along the same lines as Rivalry. These 3 cards, let's see, these 3 are basically Royal Prisons, shuts down Dark World, Fabled, a lot of other stuff, so I like it. Gravekeeper's Guard, thinking about maining him just because Zen mains and all the other XYZs are really troublesome for GK, so this guy's nice. Pretty high defense, 2400 with Necro Valley out, and then he also bounces, so and you can reuse him with stealth, so it gives you more toolbox options. Also pretty good top deck. 2 Sidra, just because for an extra beater basically for free, and then Vanity's Emptiness. I hate this card. I hate this card just because I mained it during regionals, and I thought it would be better than Fossil Dyna, but not the case. It's just too much of a liability. It lets your opponent really easily plus off you. If you're not super careful, this card will hurt you more than help you. So I mean, if you're really clutch at Yu-Gi-Oh, then I guess this is a card you can try running, but it's just not worth the hassle. So yeah, that's Gravekeepers from Team Wattmole. Algis signing out.